Welcome back, Math 10-3. Today's lesson involved two-chapter lesson, Chapter 6.2, Determining the Best Buy, and Chapter 6.3, which is Discount or Increase in Price. So, first thing first, how can we know whether you made a good choice or not? It is important to understand that you are a consumer, or if you are a producer, like a manufacturer, those kind of job is what you have, then you need to understand compared to the other producer, can we attract more customer? Something like that. So you need to understand that there is a always, how can I say, comparison. You need to compare or you need to analyze. One of the example that we are going to do is on page 160 at the bottom page. Osmani is a tour operator. He offers two type of tours to Banff. One option is deluxe tour that offers 90 minutes of sightseeing for $36, or Supreme Tour, which offer 4 hours of sightseeing for $84. Which tour offers a better price per hour? So we're specifically talking about tour option. A, B is what I like to put for the tour option situation. The first one is deluxe, second one is supreme. There's only one condition that is given for both. One is when it comes to time, 90 minutes, and when it comes to amount of money, it was $36. Oh, sorry. Second one, supreme package. Time is 4 hours. And when it comes to cost, 84. So we need to basically compare whether it's smaller or bigger or equal. Basically those type of comparison. And like our last example, we need to do ratio. But one thing that you need to understand is unit. Money, same unit. Look at the time, minutes and hour. So why don't we change 90 minutes into an hour, which is 90 divided by 60 hour, which is 1.5, 1.5. And what we're going to do is, let's find out how much does it cost per hour, so that we can compare exact same amount of time and cost benefit calculation. There we go. So first thing first, $36 was for 1.5 hour. How much amount will be for an hour? I'm using proportional ratio like we all know. 1.5x is equal to 36. Then what you need to do is 36 divided by 1.5. Then you go to conclusion. It is $24 per hour. That is deluxe package. Now let's look at supreme situation. $84 for 4 hours. So how much money for an hour? 4x is equal to 84. Isolate for x. Then you get $21 per hour. So now we can get into conclusion. Option A versus option B. Which one is expensive more? A is more expensive. So B is basically better price per hour. That is your consumer's conclusion. So basically, when it comes to chapter 6.2, you are about to read each of the question in detail, and then you're going to calculate whether those price for first condition and second condition, which one's better. Now, next lesson. Lesson 6.3. Now we're talking about a little bit more complex comparison or calculation of the price. The page that you can find this is page 164. Now, imagine you are considering any type of discount or increase in the price. Then you need to understand to what proportion am I dealing with the percentage increase or discounted price. So let's do some question over there. Example number 1 on page 164. Owen is offering a discount on an apartment of 1.5 off the first month's rent of 1,200. What will be the first month rent be? So one of the condition, 1/5 off original rent amount 1,200. So we're basically combining these two. First thing first, you need to understand the proportion in decimal. 1/5 or 1 divided by 5 is 0.20. So this is a fancy way of saying it's 20% off from my rent situation. Now, whenever you see this situation, there's two ways of solving this question. I'm gonna show you two different methods in here. One method is basically find out what is this 20% of original is. So the way that you find this, it's 0.20 as proportion, right? So you start with 0.20, multiply with your original value, 1200. Then you will have $240. Now know the fact that this is how much you need to take it off. So now from original value, you are subtracting that amount. 1,200 minus 240. Then you will have 960. And that is your first rent value from this apartment, Owen's apartment, that is 1/5 off, which is equivalent of 20% off. Second part, we're not using this 0.20 ratio to solve number 2. In fact, what I'm going to focus for second portion is 20% off. Because here's the thing, off means subtraction. 20% off means from the total, you're just using 80% of an original amount. So what you can do is rather convert 80% as a decimal, multiply by the total amount, 1,200. Then you have 0.80 multiplied by 1,200. Then you have $960. From first method, second method, you may notice, both provide you the same type of answer. It doesn't matter which method that you choose, honestly. Now let's go to another example on page 165 this time. Let's see. Why don't we do example number 2 because it says increased amount. So let's read the question first. Ben purchased a house for, so amount is $265,000 house. After 1 year, the value increased for 4%. What was the value of Ben's house? So, related to this, I'm going to use two different methods again. One of the method is basically like what we did before, small two-step method, find out the percentage worth, and then in this case it's increased, that's positive, so you can add it. And when it comes to second one, we're gonna do percentage analysis. So let's do first thing first. 4% converting into decimal 0.04. Now using 0.04, if I multiply by original amount, you can get how much that is increased from its original value. %4 of that 265,000, it turned out to be just 10,600. So my next part is from my original value, I apply that change. It says it increased its value, so that means it's addition. Then you have $275,600 as my new house value. That's one of the methods. Second method, if you want to do everything at one point, 4% increase means you have 100% as original, you're doing 4% in addition to that. So that means 104% is my value. The reason that I added is because it's going up the price. So once I add it up, I can change into my decimal value. Instead of 0 point something, it's going to be 1.04, and that is perfectly fine as long as you did the percent analysis in a good way. So it's 1.04 times by $265,000 will give me $275,600, which is basically same price as you see at the bottom. That is my today's lesson. So when it comes to homework for today, it will be definitely more than before. What is this page? Page 161. 163. I want you to do 2, 4, 6, 8. And when it comes to chapter 6.3, I want you to do page, what is this? Page 166, number 2 and 4 and 6.